Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Students, today we will revise chapter number 2, that is forms of business organization. Okay. Chapter number 3, I will not be revising, okay, since it was done just 1 or 2 weeks back. You can go through the links of the videos and study, okay. And chapter number 3, only till where I have completed is included for your exam, okay, remember that. Okay, so here in chapter number 2, forms of organization, okay, there are 5 kinds of forms of organization. Any business person, any businessman, while starting a business, he can decide on what kind of organization he can start. Okay, he can choose among these 5 types of forms of organization. Okay, first one is sole proprietorship, second joint Hindu family business, third one is partnership, fourth one is cooperative societies, and fifth one joint stock company. Okay, first one is sole proprietorship. Okay, here you have to study the meaning of sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship refers to form of organization which is owned, managed and controlled by a single person. Okay, and he gets all the profits and he has to bear the risks also. Okay, so you have to study the meaning of sole proprietorship here. And next, go through all the features. Okay, here the formation and closure of sole proprietorship is easy as compared to other kinds of organization. Okay, and regarding liability, the liability is unlimited. Okay, remember this. For sole proprietorship, the liability of a sole proprietor is unlimited. Okay. Then after the features, you have to study the merits and demerits. Okay, I may ask you all to tell me any one or two of merits and the limitations of sole proprietorship. The second form of organization is joint Hindu family business. Okay, now this is the oldest form of business organization. It is governed by the Hindu law. That is, it is governed by Hindu Succession Act 1956. Remember that. Joint Hindu family business is governed by Hindu Succession Act 1956. Okay, you have to study the meaning here. Family business, joint Hindu family business refers to a form of organization wherein the business is owned and carried on by the members of Hindu undivided family. Okay, so here the main criteria or the main basis of membership is birth in a particular family. Okay, and 3 successive generations can be members in this business. Okay, remember this. 3 successive generations can be members of joint Hindu family business. Next one is Karta. Okay, the business is controlled by the Karta here. The Karta is the eldest person in the family. Okay, the other people are called as co-partners. All the members who have equal ownership right over the ancestral property, they are called as co-partners. Okay, remember these terms, Karta and co-partners. Okay, now regarding the liability of Karta is unlimited. Okay, and the co-partners, their liability is limited to their share of property. Okay, this is important. Karta's liability is unlimited, co-partners is limited to the extent of their property. Okay, here you have to study the merits and demerits as well. Okay, next one is partnership. What is the meaning of partnership? It is simple one. Okay, it is a relation between people who have agreed to share the profits of the business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. Okay, if I ask you all the meaning of partnership, I want this answer. Okay, this is the definition given by Indian Partnership Act 1932. Okay, it is governed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. You have to go through the features here. Okay, the formation of partnership, it has certain legal formalities. Okay, and the liability of the partners, it is unlimited. Okay, the partners have unlimited liability. Next one is regarding the number of partners. Now, according to Rule 10 of the Companies Rules 2014, the maximum number of members is 50. Okay, the minimum number is 2. Okay, and maximum number of members to form a partnership firm is 50. Okay, I've highlighted only the important points here. You have to learn everything. Okay, here again you have to learn the merits and demerits. Next one is types of partners. There are 6 kinds of partners: active partner, sleeping partner, secret partner, nominal partner, partner by estoppel, and partner by holding out. Okay, this is an important topic. You have to study this. Okay. Active partner is the one who contributes capital. Okay, he contributes money to the business. Also, he participates in the management. Okay, he has a share in profits and losses of the business, and his liability is unlimited. Okay, next one, sleeping partner. Okay, sleeping partner, he is the one who does not take part in the management of the business. Okay, he does not take part in the management of the business, but he contributes capital. He has a share in profits and losses, and his liability is unlimited. Okay. Third one is secret partner. Secret partner, he contributes capital, he participates in the management, but he is not known to the public. Okay. He also has a share in the profits and losses. Okay. The secret partner is the one whose association with the firm is not known to the general public, but he contributes capital, he participates in the management, he also has a share in profits and losses. Next one is nominal partner. Nominal partner is the person who allows his name to be used by a company. Okay, only his name is used by the company, but he does not contribute to the capital. He does not participate in the management. He also does not have a share in profits and losses. Okay, only his name is used by the company. Next one is partner by estoppel. That is, if a person by his conduct or behavior gives an impression to others, to the general public, that he is a partner of the firm, that is called as partner by estoppel. Okay. If a person through his behavior shows others that he is a partner of the firm, but actually he is not. Okay, he does not contribute capital, he does not have any say in the management, nor does he have any share in the profits and losses, but only through his behavior he gives an impression to others that he is a partner of the company, then it is called partner by estoppel. Okay. Last one is partner by holding out. Now this partner, he does not contribute capital. Okay, he does not have any share in the profits. Also he does not have any say in the management of the company. Okay, but knowingly he allows himself to be called as a partner in the company. Okay. Now, if any third party enters into some contract with the company thinking that this particular person is a partner, then what happens is, if there is any repayment of debt, if the company has to pay money to the outsider, then this person will become liable. Okay, because the third party has entered into the contract with this company thinking that he is the partner, right? So if he is not really a partner and he wants to save himself from such a liability, immediately he should deny that he is not a partner. He must clarify his position that he is not a partner of the firm. Okay, if he does not do that, he will be responsible to the third party for any repayment of debts. Okay, that is partner by holding out. Okay, clear? Next one is types of partnership. Okay, partnership is classified on the basis of duration and on the basis of liability. On the basis of duration, there are 2 types, that is partnership at will and particular partnership. On the basis of liability, again there are 2 types, that is general and limited partnership. Okay, so you have to study this types of partnership. Next one is partnership deed. Okay, you have to study the meaning of partnership deed. That is the written agreement. Partnership deed is the written agreement which specifies all the terms and conditions that govern the partnership. Okay, then there are certain contents. Okay, you have to study the contents of partnership deed. It's important. I may ask you all to name any 5 of the contents, or maybe name all the contents. Next one is regarding the registration. Now, registration of a partnership firm is optional. Okay, they may register or may not. Okay, but registration has benefits. If the partnership registers its partnership under registrar of firms, then it has certain benefits. Okay, now the registration procedure is given in the book. Okay, how the registration has to be done. You have to study the registration procedure. Okay. The next form of organization is cooperative society. Now, cooperative society, it is a form of organization which is set up with a service motive. Okay. The cooperative society is a voluntary association of people who join together with the motive of welfare of the members. The motive here is not profit but welfare of the members of the cooperative society. Okay. Now, this cooperative society is registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912. You have to go through the features here. The liability of the members of cooperative society is limited to the extent of capital contributed by them. Okay, liability of the members of cooperative society is limited. Here you have to study the merits and demerits as well. Next one is the types of cooperative societies. Next one is types of cooperative societies. There are 6 types of cooperative societies here. That is consumers cooperative societies, producers cooperative society, marketing cooperative society, farmers, credit cooperative society and cooperative housing society. In consumers cooperative society, they are the societies which are formed to protect the interest of the consumers. Okay, to protect the interest of the consumers. For example, Super Bazaar, Apna Bazaar, etc. Second one is producers cooperative societies. These are set up to protect the interest of small scale producers. Okay, for example, weavers, artisans, farmers, etc. Marketing cooperative societies are established to help the small producers to sell their products. Okay. For example, Milk Cooperative Society in Gujarat. Okay. Fourth one is Farmers Cooperative Society. They are established to protect the interest of the farmers. Okay. Here the small farmers, they join together and pool all their resources for cultivating the land collectively. Okay. So they get an opportunity to cultivate on a large scale. Next one is credit cooperative societies. These cooperative societies, they give credit to the members. They give loans to the members. Okay. For example, Teachers Cooperative Society, State Electric Board Employment Society. Okay. They provide loans to the members out of the amounts which is collected as capital and deposits from the members, and they charge low rates of interest. Last one is cooperative housing societies. Okay, they help the people with limited income to construct houses at reasonable costs. Okay, this is cooperative housing society. One is joint stock company. Here you have to learn the meaning of joint stock company. Joint stock company is governed by Companies Act 2013. Okay, go through the features here. The liability here, the liability of the members is limited to the extent of capital contributed by them. Okay, liability of the members of joint stock company is limited to the extent of capital contributed by them. Okay, next one is the types of companies. Okay, you have to study the merits and demerits of joint stock companies as well. Next one is types of companies. There are 2 types of companies, that is private and public company. Okay, private company means a company which restricts the right of members to transfer its shares and has a minimum of 2 members and maximum of 200 members. Also, it does not invite public to subscribe to its securities. So this is the exact meaning of private company. You have to study this. Okay. Public company means a company which is not a private company. Okay. It has a minimum a minimum of 7 members, but there is no limit on maximum number of members. Okay. Next one is choice of form of business organization. Now there are certain factors which have to be considered by choosing the form of organization. Okay. So you have to study these factors which determine choice of organization. Okay. So that's all for today, students. Okay. Study well. All the best for your exams.